What's going on, everyone? I go by Big Groomy and welcome to my channel. This is the first video I'll be doing, and I thought it would be nice to start it out with a new series. In this series, I'll be giving you the biggest news that has happened lately in the competitive Overwatch scene. So just a quick rundown of what I've done since this is the first video on my channel. For the past 2 years, I've been following the competitive Overwatch scene and peaked at 4K this season. GM gang baby. But enough wasting your time, let's get into our first piece of news. First up, coming from the general manager of the NYXL that tweets they're having open tryouts looking for a new main and flex support. Although they're looking, I don't think Jonak and Animo fans have to be worried. It's most likely that the NYXL just want backup since traveling is coming to the league and they don't want much pressure on the players because of jet lag and burnout, etc. I think in the long run for the NYXL, having another backup for the support duo is just good in case Animo or Jonak get a wrist injury or they're sick. They can always just fall back on that player without having another player from a different role having to pick that up. Another quick piece of news comes from the Los Angeles Gladiators, who tweeted the re-signing, not resigning, of Deepay as head coach and general manager. My opinion on this is it's a great move to see the return of Deepay after being such successful with him in Season 2. By the way, if you're not informed, there's going to be a lot of re-signings, not resign, since a lot of 2-year contracts with Overwatch League players and coaches are expiring, so they're just re-signing them so they continue to be on the team and they don't have to look for a new team. So what's a news channel without some drama, right? This comes from Tavik, the former player of the Florida Mayhem that throws some shade at the Wave Check, a contenders team. So for the past couple months, there's been rumors going around about Wave Check being toxic in scrims and being BM to their opponents that they're facing. So the latest quote comes out from Tavik, and he says, "I'm more or less getting flamed every day for being ex-Overwatch League and ranked, and that's fine, but once you start doing shit in scrims and ruin scrim time, legitimately stop playing scrims and start getting more mature and learn manners. Grow the fuck up. Looking at you, Wave Check." Damn, that's some juicy ass beef coming down from Tavik. But to add even more fuel to the fire, we have Fran, a popular Overwatch streamer that's partnered with the Atlanta Reign, tweets, "Just had the displeasure of scrimming with Wave Check. Bunch of toxic little shits." Now before everyone hops on the Wave Check hate train, just keep in mind that these are all accusations being thrown towards them from players that they've faced in the past during scrims or maybe actual games. And if these accusations are true, my opinion on this is that higher ups from Wave Check should really be talking down onto the players and making sure they don't do this, because it's not only hindering them and their future in the Overwatch competitive scene of not being toxic and stuff so they don't build bad habits, but also the brand Wave Check as a whole. They don't want, the last thing they want is a bad reputation on their hands. So this next piece of news comes from the Washington Justice, where they basically are changing their entire roster, which honestly, I understand most of these. So Otto, Hyunyu, if I'm saying that correctly, Giannis, and Sansam have all been released. Now for Hyunyu, I'm not really surprised that he's being released since he hasn't really done much this season to play on stage and stuff like that. And for Giannis and Sansam, we kind of knew for a while that they might be getting released since they have new replacements coming in, which are Elivotes and Lulsish. And lastly, we have Otto being released, which I like 60% understand. Even though we had Stratus and Corey kind of carrying the stage for them for DPS, I thought it was nice having Otto as a kind of reliable DPS backup. And he hasn't really had, I think, the chance to prove himself as a DPS as much as others have since GOATS and him being brigged most of the time. And obviously him being on the Shanghai Dragons in Season 1, which we're just not going to talk about, alright? Holy crap, guys, this list just keeps going on. Along with all those 4 players, we also have Guido and Sleepy also being released from the Washington Justice. This leads to a total of 6 players being snapped from there. As for Guido, I kind of understand this since he had a lackluster performance throughout the season, and specifically in GOATS when he had a lot of questionable Transcendence usages, and overall, I just kind of support this move. But for Sleepy, I do not support this move at all. I thought Sleepy did pretty good with the tank line that they had. He did the most he could, and the only reason I can see him being released is he probably got bought out from another team. I'm looking at Houston Outlaws that I think desperately need a new flex support. So to summarize this section of the video, 6 players of the Washington Justice roster, Sansam, Otto, Giannis, Sleepy, Guido, and Hyunyu, have all been released from the Washington Justice. Wow. Ballsy plays, ballsy plays. I want to know what you guys think about this, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Because the last time I think we saw a roster change this big was Season 1 Shanghai Dragons, when they basically got rid of everyone on that team, understandably though. This next piece of news comes from the World Cup, where Poco for Team France will not be playing due to health issues, and Tech 36 instead will be playing. My thoughts on this are, it's good for Poco, take some time off. Hopefully whatever he's dealing with isn't too serious, and he can be able to play for Season 3. We're starting to see a recurring pattern in the World Cup where new players and new casters and stuff like that are able to make themselves known on the scene, and I think this is a good thing so we can get new talent into the Overwatch League and make the scene more diverse with new players and old players. Alright, now we get on to our next piece of news. For the Florida Mayhem, Bare Hands has been released, and has been released to his new role of General Manager. Honestly, I'm not surprised about this. Besides the end of this season, Bare Hands has failed to make Florida Mayhem an even mid-tier team or a high-tier team, none of that. They have consistently lost games, excluding the fourth stage of the regular season. So making the General Manager, honestly, anything is better than Bare Hands, since they need to change. And in the words of a wise man, sorry, man. Next up, we have news from the San Francisco Shock, the champions of the 2019 season. They released Nevix. What this also means is this is the last OG Shock lineup gone now. It's all new players. And I truly hope that Nevix finds a new home on another team. He was a decent player. It's just that the Shock lineup is so stacked that there's no room for him. When he's going up and competing against a player like Choi Yobin for the starting role, it's going to be really hard for him, so I think it's kind of in his favor also to just find a new team in a starting position. Another little short piece of news is from the Toronto Defiant. Gods has been released and he's now a free agent looking for an Overwatch League team for the 2020 season, and he says this: "Although my time on Defiant was short, I will cherish an experience I've had with my teammates and fans I've met. Contact me on Discord," that's his Discord, "and retweets appreciated. GG's all. See you in 2020. My thoughts on this is I think Gods is a great guy and I hope he finds a team. I watched his Overwatch League interview and he looks pretty funny, so I want more personalities in the league, so someone will pick him up. Oh man, I didn't even see this one. We have another big release coming from the Florida Mayhem where they release Hagapoon, Zephyr, Swan, Rain, and DPI, and the coach, KH1. Although this is like the billionth time we've seen a low-tier team restart most of their roster, I think this is a good move because their main problem is having a lack of talent on their team. So if you're a Florida Mayhem fan, even though you've seen it plenty of times before, maybe this time's the charm. We also had Super and Sinatra of the San Francisco Sock go on The Tonight Show, the actual Tonight Show by Jimmy Fallon, and they did an interview. He brought in the trophy. It was super cool. I'm going to leave the link in the description if you want to watch that. I recommend it if you're an Overwatch League fan. It's only like 4 minutes long, and it's pretty cool. And also, I just want to say respect to Jimmy Fallon for being so respectful. We see these big media influencers all the time kind of be like, oh, you only play video games for a living, so I respect him being so interested in it. And yeah, and for our last piece of news today, I wanted to end it with some conversation. So we have a twitlonger coming out from a really old name in the league called Dreamcasper. If you don't know Dreamcasper, or you need a little fresh reminder, he was in Season 1 on the Boston Uprising, a star DPS player, and it was leaked or something that he was flirting with an underage girl. So this turned into a massive uprising, and rightfully so. Boston Uprising refunded all the Dreamcasper jerseys and apologized for this. Obviously, Dreamcasper got kicked from the league, and that leads us on to this twitlonger that he posted just a couple days ago. I'm going to read it out for you guys. I know it's been a long time since I've reached out to anyone, but it's been really difficult and scary to communicate or speak to anyone. It still is. I have made bad decisions in my life, and I take full responsibility for that and will not make excuses regarding it. I really want to apologize to everyone that I hurt during this situation and those that were involved in it. Ever since that incident, I've been repenting my actions and working on myself to change because I want to become a better person towards those around me. I'm truly sorry to the people that were once inspired or looked up to me, including past friends, teammates, fans, and also the community that I feel I have let down. I will continue to strive to work my hardest and improve myself as a person and player. I cannot change what has happened in the past, but I will work to be a better person for the future. I know it might be difficult for anyone to forgive me for my actions, and I'm not asking for forgiveness, but it is never too late to make things right. Alright guys, what's your opinion on this? Leave in the comments below what you think. Do you forgive him? Do you not? Do you think he should have a shot back in the Overwatch League? I'm gonna leave that guys up to you. Let's spark a conversation. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm planning on making more videos like this, along with predictions on who's gonna win the World Cup and Overwatch League 2020, stuff like that. So yeah, see you guys.